I'm back. I'm back with the ashy hands and everything, but I'm back. Could be worse. I could have an ashy bald head, but I'm back. Welcome to Troy Graham Experience, the Daddies Lounge, episode three. Number three. Consistent. Number three. Ah, I always like to tell a story before I jump into the matter at hand. Subject matter at hand. It leads back into the matter at hand. But yeah, I it's like a lot of people. I don't do step anything or half anything. We family, we family. I don't believe in those words. I just don't. I really don't believe in those words. You're not my half brother. You're not my stepsister. You're my sister. You're not my stepfather. You're my father. I don't. I don't deal with them words, man. I just can't. It's not in me to call somebody step. The person who raised me wasn't of my bloodline, but I never once called her step anything. You know, she was my grandmother. She wasn't, my step grandmother. I just don't deal with them words too well because I think it diminishes the person. I really do. So I just don't like them. Because I've never once heard the term step friend, whether you're a friend you speak to all the time or someone you see them. Is that your step friend? Is it? No, you've never heard that term, have you? Nope. Why is that? Because it doesn't apply. See, it doesn't apply. That's why you haven't heard it. So, but the topic, today is I'm not your stepfather. I'm the man who God chose to step up. You know, and how do I know about that topic? Because I come from both sides of the whole step parenting thing. I was somebody's stepchild, and I hate that term. Nobody ever called me that though. Nobody ever referred to me as step anything. And then I was somebody's so-called stepfather. I never called her my stepdaughter. She was just my daughter. You know, there ain't no step nothing. You've been with me since you were two, and you're 30 plus now. You're not a step. It took me a while to realize what was going on. But as you get older, you learn wisdom. You gain more wisdom. And if you don't, then you stagnate and die, right? So I had a conversation one time with her biological father at our grandson's christening. And, they did the christening at the church. Then we all went to eat at the church hall. And so this dude is big, too. He's 6'8", 275 pounds, something like that. Big dude. I'm 6 foot. So we were about to take a picture. My grandson's father's father, his other grandfather, and me, and then it's supposed to be his biological grandfather. This 6'8" man is shrank down in the chair. I'm like, come on, get in the picture. Right? He shrank down in the chair. So we took the picture, and one of these days I'll pop it up and show it on him. And so then I realized there was an uneasy spirit about him, so I asked him to step outside. He said, "But Troy, didn't you say that you realized there was an uneasy spirit about him?" Yeah, I said uneasy. I didn't say angry. I didn't say angry. But anyhow, I said, what's up with you, man? You look like you uncomfortable. He's like, I don't know how to take all this being here with you, and you move around everybody so freely. You spend time with my daughter and my grandkids and their family. I don't know how to feel around all this. So I told them, you're overthinking things, man. Ain't nobody here judging you but you. I mean, reality. I'm leaving out some of the conversation. He said, he said to me, especially you. I don't know how to handle you. I'm not saying it in an angry way, but you did all the heavy lifting. You were there since she was a little baby. I said, yeah, man. But I said, look, God puts people in the position where they need to be when He needs them to be there. You weren't ready to step up, so you had to go step aside and grow, and He chose me to step in and step up. So that's what I did. Now it's your turn to make sure her feet don't hit the ground. And I know in the long run, if she gets married, you're going to walk her down the aisle. He's like, nah, me and you going to walk her down the aisle. I said, nah, that's not how life works, man. He said, well, how do you deal with that then? Because that don't seem fair to me. It's the reality of life. Part of being that other parent is just the reality of life, you know? So, yeah. So, all my I, all my stepfathers out there, those men that stepped in, I'm proud of y'all, man. It takes a big heart and an extremely compassionate soul to step up and give your love to someone who may or may not give it back. Or better yet, you may build this child all on your own, and then one day the biological father steps in and you become a memory. Out of sight, out of mind, baby. But you gave your all, though, didn't you? Didn't you? And you never ask why. The real good ones never ask why. They never do. They just do. They simply just do. And that's the strength of love, compassion, and just driven to be that father. You know, this thing here is not a one size fit all type of damn thing. Here, it's not. You're not just gonna step in and say, "Hey, I'm Superman," and do everything, and expect, "Hey, the child will turn around and say, hey, we love you forever. I even want to take your last name and all that." And that doesn't work all the time. It'd be good if I would be a liar. Excuse me. I'd be a liar or lying to you and myself if I told you it worked that way. Now, in some cases, it does. Rarely, it doesn't. Because there's going to be times in that relationship when that child will say, well, you ain't my daddy. Oh, boy, that's a test right there. You ain't my daddy. You know how many times I've been doing that? And I expect that from a little child. So, okay, you ain't my daddy comes from. Well, what about if certain family members were against you, but they didn't put a drop of more water in her mouth, not a dime in her pocket, nothing. They just were against you. And they were the ones feeding her, like, you ain't got to listen to him. He ain't your daddy. I walked in on that one day. And her mother, they wasn't even trying to stop him. So I said, if I'm not her father, who is? See these pampers? Huh? See the lights that are on? Who's her father than them? Not me. But that's what you're supposed to do. No, I'm not, because I'm not her daddy. Okay? So no. You can't have no double standards over here. Okay? Let me say this to the ladies. If a man is stepping up in not just your life, but your child's life, don't let no family members come in and kick him in the knees, talking about, well, tell the child, well, he ain't your daddy. put a stop to that immediately. Because if you don't, it's going to cause disturbance in your relationship. He's going to make, he's going to believe that you don't appreciate him. And your appreciation means a hell of a lot to him. But if you're just sitting there letting Auntie so and so say whatever they want, or this one and cousin so and so, and you don't say nothing, you're gonna be like, well, she don't even appreciate me. You know, why am I here? You might lose yourself a good man off that. Not a good stepman, but a good man. So be mindful of that, ladies. Be very, very mindful because you can lose somebody. You know, and men, if the love is real right there, you will tough it out, even if you got to go and stay at a family member's house for a day or a week. Tough that joint out. Because if this is your purpose, don't let that pain make you purposely leave. Don't do that because you're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it later on down the road. You're gonna lose someone, and you're gonna be like, "Dang, how did I end up losing that person?" Because you walked away from your purpose, and the main purpose is that child. Yeah, of course, you love their mother and all that, but if the two aren't evenly yoked, then you're not gonna have a happy house. And the minute someone says stepfather to you, you gotta ask, unless you accept that. I'm not saying because everybody doesn't think like me. So unless you accept it, then okay then. But I just don't accept it. I never have, never will. Because that kind of, to me, it takes away, it's just offensive. Offensive in this way. If I'm your stepfather, that means there's, there's someone else out there doing better than me. That's how I take things. I don't know how everybody else does. And that leaves room for the next man to step up to come and go anytime he wants to. I'm not saying I don't want them to see their father, but be steady in the child's life. If you're gonna be there, be there. Don't be in and out, toe in, toe out. Because you know what happens then? Because I'm the man that stepped up, I deal with the pain and the anger that comes with that pain because, you know, such and such was supposed to be here at 8 o'clock to pick me up and he didn't show up. And now it's all my fault. Because if I wasn't here, they would have showed up. Really? And if you raise somebody else's child and you out there, then you know what I'm talking about. You definitely do, especially if it's a girl. Boys will lash out in different ways, but girls will just blame you for everything. You know, boys will lash out and say stuff like, "I wish you, you know, I don't even know why you're here with my mom. You know, my father coming back." They say stuff like that. Girls are more or less be like, you're the reason why he didn't show up. He said he was gonna pick me up, and then he didn't show up because of you. Really? And the mama didn't even say nothing. That's part of it, baby. I toughed it out because I really, really loved that kid. So I toughed it out, and it was worth it. I could have done without some of the nonsense though. I could have done without that, but it was good. I mean, when I watched her graduate from elementary school, right, and I was there, I enjoyed that. I watched her go to the prom, graduate high school. Excuse me, yeah. I was there. When she graduated from nursing school, I was there. I had the first child, I was there. Well, I was at home, but I was there. So yeah, when she got her license, I was there to stopping through to drop, hey, Angie baby, how you doing? So yeah, But this whole step parenting thing is no joke, boy. It really isn't. It's just like I garden, right? This year I'm gonna do the strawberries, some corn, and cucumbers, etc., etc. Patience is what I'm learning by growing. Matter of fact, I gotta go buy my stuff tomorrow. But patience is what I'm learning. Like most people, if they water it on Monday, they want results on Tuesday. It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. It takes a long time. It takes honestly, they grow on their own time. There you go. That's even better quote. They grow on their own time, not on your time. And the same thing applies to raising children, biologically and just children, period. They grow on their own time. They don't grow on your time. Just like you didn't grow on your parents' time. You grow on your own time. Yeah, see? Yeah, I'll be happy when I could grow this, and I want to get some. I really built this for the fathers, right? But I wouldn't mind having some female feedback on a lot of things I'm going to be discussing, because I think it'd be interesting for the fathers to know what the women think, and it's definitely necessary for you ladies to know what we think. This way, maybe you'll move a little different when you hear from a bunch of fathers that stood the test of time and who are still standing, and whatever's going on, you might see things a little different, because we're not just. I always hear women say the men are supposed to be providers and protectors, and that's cool. What are you supposed to be to that man? I never hear that in any conversation. I never hear what the woman's supposed to be to the man. The man never says it. Because, so what are you supposed to be? If this man is take care of everything you want to take care of, plus he's raising your child and all that, what are you supposed to be to him? Just his woman? No, he's supposed to be a little bit more than that. But what do you want? What do you want from me? Appreciation, understanding, patience. Same thing I give to y'all. That's what you want from me. That's what I want. Give me some patience. Give me some understanding. Appreciate me. You don't have to pat me on the back and stuff like that every day, but it'd be nice to hear, you know, thank you. I didn't expect this to happen when we first got together, but thank you. I would like to hear that. See how simple that was? Hmm. Exactly. So that's what I like to hear. And now, what is the purpose of the child actually once they get to a certain age and they've grown with this individual? Respect. Don't repeat on. If you want to come and talk to me about why people feel this way and that way about me, I'm even if you're not comfortable, you want to talk to your mom first. That's fine, and then we could talk, or all three of us. But don't bring all the heat onto that man. You constantly set someone on fire. They're gonna run out somewhere and put the fire out, never return. Fire means change. So just ask Richard Pryor. That was a badly timed joke. Ha 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 ha. But I'm not known for my comedy. I'm not known for telling jokes. But yeah, that was horrible. My timing was better than that. But I'm still laughing at myself. When I was coming up, when I was younger and dating in my 20s, I dated quite a few women with children, man. And I don't know, I just gravitated to them. No, not because they were easy. No, it had nothing to do with that. And that's disrespectful. No. And not because I wanted the responsibility of a child. Hard. Excuse me, y'all. No, not because I want a responsibility as a child at a young age. I just, the situation is that the situation didn't bother me. That's why. The situation didn't bother me. I didn't want to be a father that young, but the situation also didn't bother me at the same time. You know, I knew I could hold my own. So that's what I did. Because a lot of times when you're that young, you have a baby in tow with you. Most of the dudes just want to sleep with you. They don't want nothing to do with your actual life. So I remember all the good that was ever done to me when I was a child. So these are women I used to gravitate to, you know? And then over time, their responsibility usually became mine. Not because they told me. I mean, most of them will tell you it's a package deal, and I'm like, it's a package deal for as long as I choose to be here. Then when I leave, it's not my package or my deal. I'm gone. So I chose it, and I stood up to it. I didn't need nobody, you know. And a lot of times, as a step parent, you don't get back what you give. Very rarely do you get back what you give as a stepfather. Very rarely. I mean, hell, if the biological father don't get nothing on Father's Day, imagine what happens to the stepfathers. There's no stepfather's day, none whatsoever. There's Father's Day, and that's not even an appreciated day. They won't get you a towel or some tools or a gift card to go somewhere to eat, which they're gonna use more than you. You know so much. I'm speaking from experience, hence the name, the Troy Graham Experience. Hence the name. That's right. So that being said, when you step into these situations, you have some thick skin. And you have to step into it more so with a purpose than with a pursuit. Because if all you're pursuing is 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 sex, it's gonna be empty. It's not gonna be what you think. It really isn't. Because you're messing with someone who has one baby, she's not gonna want to. She's not the type of girl who want to be like, okay, well, come on. No, she already has one baby. Baby, she don't want another baby. And no, and two babies or two fathers. Who wants that? Do you want that? So keep thinking you can play games on her, because she'll be like, the game will be on you. Ain't gonna get it, ain't gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. That's right. That's what you gonna hear. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Now when you decide to be real, have a conversation and be like, look, this is, this might be a lot more than I expected, but I'm staying. And you give the reason why you stay, whether it be for love, whether it be a sense of obligation, whatever the case may be, loving obligation, whatever the case, you stick and stay. Know this: there's two things. You can be right about being right. You also can be right about being wrong. Those are two things you're gonna deal with the most as a father. You can be right about being right, and you definitely can be right about you being wrong. What the hell does that mean? That means as long as you're involved in a child's life, You're never gonna know whether you're right or not until you make that move. You're never gonna know when you're wrong or not until you make that move. You know, and don't get all involved with the child chasing the mother, and then when things fall apart with the mom, you're like, push. Especially when that child's old enough to remember you. You know. So maybe if there's a way you can stay in touch with the child, or somehow after you break up with her or whatever, you never know. I've done that too. I've broken up with women and then stayed in touch with the children, or child. A lot of people wouldn't even think to do that, but I did. Just, I got attached. Sure, I got attached. Especially if they were boys, or girls, boys were boys, really. Took them to the gym with me and everything. We learned how to box, you know. Then we played games and stuff like that, and just took him around. Took the boy around, and then I stayed with him until he got a little older. Then they moved away, and I lost contact. Yeah, that's the hard thing though about doing this, or have done it, past tense, past tense. You never know. Well, even being a father to your own child, you never know what to expect, but it's harder when it's not your own child because a part of you is waiting for that other shoe to drop, for that knock to come at the door. Such and such is here. They want to see their child, and I'm like, mother funker. But what comes out your mouth is okay. Let's see where this goes, right? Right. So what do you do? Nothing. You accept it. That's what you do. You just accept it. What else are you supposed to do? You stand strong and accept it. Hmm. You don't you don't run. I said this 1,000 times if I said it once. If you run away from a child and let your name become a whisper on the wind, you'll forever have to live with those sins. Always hearing that voice from within. Why did I do that? Why do I feel like a part of me is missing? And don't let that child be successful. Doctor, lawyer, judge, astronaut, make money playing sports. Don't let them be successful. And you see on TV, I like to thank, love your mom and thank my dad. And this other man here walks up. Can you imagine that? I want to thank my dad, and this other man here walks up. Wow. Think about how that's going to feel. You sitting at home knowing this child is your child. He's successful now. And this other man is up there, and he's claiming him as his father. His father. How that how that make you feel in the pit of your soul? Hmm? How that make you feel? Hmm. So there's a lot of things to consider. And Lord have mercy. Don't let there be a girl and you didn't show off for her. Don't do it. And then she has to go through some issues with men, and then she ends up raising a boy, and she basically, because of you, raises him just like you. She lies for him. She's super protective of him. So when he grows up, he's just like you, a coward, a runaway, someone who didn't have the heart to grow with their own child. Let me take that word coward out of there because I don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I really don't. So let's just say he grows up like you, being a mama's boy. Got a girl pregnant. Mama said, "That ain't my baby. That ain't my grandbaby." And went lied for him, vouched for him, took the test as his. That's your grandbaby. Oh, I got a grandbaby. I'm gonna love her. Yeah, she's raising you all over again. Nobody's making you stand and be responsible. Because if somebody would have taught you that, you wouldn't put on your track shoes and act like Usain Bolt up in the joint. Another record broken. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing. Allow those children you're raising to pay for it. Teach them responsibility. Love isn't just, if you spell it backwards, it's evolve. So it's just about evolving. So you have to mix in the kindness and cruelty. I'm not telling you abuse anybody. No, kindness. Sometimes you have to practice that word no. Can we get this ice cream, mom or dad? Dad, can we get this ice cream? No. You know you have enough money for it, but you're always saying yes. Can we get some pizza? No, I'm gonna cook. You got the money for it. You probably want the pizza your dad said, but no. You always say yes, then they always will come back to you and expect yes. You say no more than yes when they come to ask you for something. They might be hesitant, but if they really need it, they'll ask. If they just want it, then they're not gonna ask. And I go and the same thing. Let me tell you what. My son called me up the other day and said, "Dad, $800. I had it. I gave it to him. I said I don't have it. And I ain't heard from that boy in like 2 months. And I told him call his grandma, see if she help you out. Right? He said, all right. So I said, all right, don't call me. You haven't called me in 2 months. Now you calling me just to ask for money. Sure. But make no mistake, that's what they do. That is what they do. The, the the part where we have to get together and understand is that you have to say no. You know what no does? Make them think a little bit more on how they can get it and keep it. You know, if you get it and keep it, get it and keep it, get it and keep it. That's what no will teach you. I remember I was in a supermarket one time, man. Never forget this. And them three boys were kind of giving me the business that day, man. They were young too, about 8, 7, and 5. And they were giving me the business. I had them in this jumbo shopping cart, right? Two of them were small enough to sit up in a little space up front, and one went in the big part of it. And they were just knocking stuff off the shelves, yelling. One of them had to go get changed. No, they had to get changed. They were much younger than the ages I told you. But he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom, Daddy. And I'm like, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. And I was like, wow, this is hard today. And this woman walked up to me in the supermarket while I was rubbing my head, much like I'm doing now. She says, now you know how it feels to babysit. And I'm like, I wanted to tell her a couple of words in French. I'm like, woman, I said, lady, I'm not babysitting nobody. These are my children. She's like, oh, okay. But you basically still babysitting. You're not their mother. In my head, I saw me backslapping her. I don't hit women, but in my head I saw that. Felt good too. But for the nerve to say that to somebody, I'm a father. I'm not no damn babysitter. She must view herself like that as a cook, a babysitter, you know, a married, a freak in the bed, as they say. I mean, what are you talking about? I'm a father. I'm not no damn babysitter. And I just gave her a look. I think she kind of got it because she kind of scurried away. She scurried away. But seriously, that's one thing I cannot tolerate: babysitting. Nobody babysitting anybody over there. I watch my grandkids from time to time, and that's only for an hour or two. I won't do more than that. That's babysitting. Hmm. And I was raised, like I said, I have two fathers, right? So that being said, I the father who married my mother, he's still married. He taught me a lot of stuff. I'm not good with my hands like he is. He chopped down trees. Andrew Charles, what's up? Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. But yeah, my the man who raised me, he's great with his hands. He's a builder. He built the deck. I helped him do that. He chopped down the tree that was in front of the house. I helped him do that. He used to fix my cars when they broke down and stuff, especially my brakes. I should have learned. And just seems real good with his hands, right? I'm not. But I learned a lot from him. He just likes to keep busy and work and things like that. Like a lot of times I would see stuff out there by a lot of people put stuff off their house by the dumpster, but not in the dumpster, off to the side. And if it's some good wood, like say furniture, I'll give him a call and he'll be like, okay, I'm on my way. Just make sure nobody take it. And he'll take it. Either he'll clean it up and make something of it, or if it's just wood, he'll break it down and then build something with it. And he gave me that structure and things, and just watching him do his thing, that's fatherhood to me. You get a whole bunch of emotion and all that with these children, and you just work it. You work it like just work it, man. At the same time, even if you're a young parent, you grow with that child. Don't nobody tell you, make you feel bad because you had a child young. You know, you grow with that child. You keep going. There's too many people out there that'll throw their pain on you and try to anchor you down, and they'll pull you. If you allow it, they'll pull you down and you'll drown. No, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, don't do that. And don't listen to anybody else. I understand that you being scary and all that, but don't listen to anybody else. But more, the man, like I said, the father who raised me, the only thing he couldn't do well was cut hair. He did everything else well, though. Your car break down, he'll fix it. Yeah, he gave me my first Volvo. Very expensive car to fix, you know, but it was a good car. Very expensive though. Yeah, and believe it, oh, I knocked myself down. But believe it or not, I'm a better cook than him. He'll tell you different. Hold on. Yeah, my light. I have a light fixture here for my phone. I fell, but yeah, I learned a whole lot from him, man. I tell people all the time I have two fathers. I don't never mention the word stepfather. I will never. I told him that conversation. I don't believe in all that, so I'm not gonna do it. He ain't my stepfather. You know, my sister's not my stepsister. She's my sister. You know, see how that works? You got married, you didn't sign any papers saying I'm stepping up. I'm marrying you, and I'm going to become a stepfather. Did you? You signed the papers? You signed the papers? Wow. But yeah, I'll stay on for about 4 more minutes, man. Then I'm gonna jump off here, cause today I got about an hour of sleep instead of my regular two. I just popped up out of my sleep for some reason. So that old man afternoon nap is creeping on my back. It's creeping on my back, y'all. But I'll rattle on about some things now. This isn't. I mean, these conversations can be fun once the numbers grow and people start coming. But right now, it's not fun. It's not funny. But there's fundamentals to it. Because somebody out there right now in whatever age group is thinking, might be thinking, man, I need someone to talk to. Man, I got a lot on my mind about this raising somebody else's kid, or just overall being a young father, being a middle-aged father, being a father that was never there. Now he's older. And he wants to. All these conversations need to be had. Every last one of them. You know, I mean, I could easily do a show where it's much more ridiculous and much more ignorant as well. But this is what's on my soul. And for all those that come, thank you. For all those who sneak watch, thank you. And for all those that will come, appreciate you. But this is where my heart is right now. It is. I'm doing more reading to help me come on here and speak, because you can't Google fatherhood like I. I mean, listen, I know boxing. Most of the boxers you see me interview, I knew about them. I knew about them, but it didn't stop me from Googling and finding out more. Did it? Oh, I did that. I went on to Googled them, and I found out some more. That's how I was able to keep the flow, keep up with the show. Here, there's no Googling. You either got it on your heart to say or you don't. Fatherhood is not something you can Google. It's not something that you could look up and say, okay, I can use this, I can use that. No, you can't. No, you really can't. You either got it in you to do or you don't got it in you to do. That's it. You know, I got it in me to do, and I'm gonna continue to do it because I enjoy it. If anything happens in boxing and I feel like talking about it, that'll be on Tuesday. Either be on a Tuesday or Thursday. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I dedicate those days to reaching out to brothers who have something to say about fatherhood, man. Whether they just want to share a story or they like, man, I messed up and I want to do this and do that. Hey, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. There's a need for it. There's a will for it. There's a drive for it. And that's why I'm here. I'm about to chew some more ice. Now you say, why are you chewing it out here? Because I'm anemic. I gotta chew ice some time. All right. So I want to look all rude chewing the ice. Excuse me. Just like I didn't want to belch on the show. But reality is reality, and this is not a reality show. This is really the reality of this show. You like that? Like I could just flip it and split verbs and everything. Good. Well, look, this is the Noel. I want to thank you for coming out, man. Everybody, I'm cutting a little short today because that old man nap is riding me. It's riding me. 45 minutes is a good show. So thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Thanks for your words there, good brother. Andrew Charles. Angie, baby, good to hear from you. Freddie Ups, thank you. Everybody out there that I saw pop in and pop out, that was sneak watching. Everybody is going to do the replay. I appreciate you. You know, I damn sure appreciate you. Let me leave you with this, right? I didn't know anything about raising no girl. I don't know anything. I mean, I'm the oldest son, so I got one brother that's 11 years older than me. I used to take care of him when they went to work, so I know how to do that. But a little girl? No, no, no. You know? And I learned on the job, as they say. I learned on the job. And that is a part of doing this. Whether you're biological, whether you're so called stepfather, whether you're godfather, whatever the case may be, is learning as you go. But if you never go, then you never learn. You can't have one foot in and one foot out either. You make that step, you make another step, you're good. Because I'm going to leave you with this. The only thing you could be right on as a father is you know that you can be right and you know that you can be wrong. Those are the only two things that you know as a father. Troy, that's the most simplest shit. I'm like, yeah, it is simple, but it's a fact. Bless up, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. And I will continue to be more consistent and work on my delivery and things of that nature. That's how serious I am, you know. And I'm trying to get some bells and whistles somewhere down the road. But thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. Bless up, everyone.